What's up, folks? Spooky season is upon us, so I have broken down the 132 scale layout that I had set up on the railroad table, and I set up my 118 scale monster castle. Um, so this is my finished basement where I have all this is my unfinished basement where I have all this set up, and I have to finish the basement one day, but at least it's dry and it's got sheetrock on the walls and it's got heat down here. So here's all the 132nd scale buildings. A lot of stuff is going to need paint and embellishment. Here's that Disney Princess Frozen castle that I primed and everything. I did a little work on this. I put some lattice work in here. This was a big opening, this and this. I put some plastic leaf gutter guard to sort of match the lattice style here, and I think that helps a lot. I put this little cup on here. This was from some Harry Potter like kind of micro toy or something that I got at Walmart, and I saved the capsule that it came in because I thought it looked kind of architecturally cool. So it sort of fits that castle. So I got a little work to do on that. And all these buildings, they got to be painted. But on to the main thing, the monster castle. So right now I just have it set up on here because it's a good work table, or a good presentation table. I want to get into the Halloween spirit, so why not start with the toys? These fishing tackle boxes are all full of my Halloween themed action figures. So these guys, various guys populate the castle. So I just did this last night. Everything's kind of thrown haphazardly in the way, but I think I've shown you guys the castle before. I'll go through it again real quick, and then as I get more details going, I'll do some more videos. So I set it up because the table is convenient. I don't really think the railroad stuff is appropriate for it, but what the hell? At least it's a nice big work table. I have a dedicated base I'm making for this, but I kind of petered out on that. It's just so big and heavy. I don't even know if I'm going to follow through with it. But the nice thing about it is it has an underground layer where I have a sort of, I guess for lack of a better term, some sort of satanic lair down there. And I also have built into the base a basin for a fog machine, a micro, whatever they call it, a hypersonic fog maker. So, the castle will have a little creepy pond with like that dry ice look going on it. So, but I can't do that on the railroad table right now. I was thinking though about maybe sourcing out a G-scale old-timey railroad, like something in Transylvania or something. But I'm trying to be good with spending and all. I just recovered from my quarterly tax payments. Being self-employed, that's always a big hit to make your quarterly tax payment. So, I'm just messing around with unfinished projects. So I set the castle up in hopes that maybe I can take a piece at a time and repaint it. I've got everything primed. So let's go through it real quick. This is a Playmobil castle base. These are Playmobil castles right here. I had extended the castle by building this platform here and these stone archways here. Let me move these tchotchkes out of here. So these stone archways are just styrofoam that I covered with epoxy. I carved and covered with epoxy. I want to redo them out of something a little more stable. They're kind of delicate in my opinion. But everything's primed gray or brown if it's going to be wood. I primed it with red oxide primer. So going around the back side of the castle here, this is the Telemarine castle from Narnia. And once again, I painted that gray too, and I got rid of certain things that are just generally inappropriate for what I'm going for. One of the things I'll have to modify is this little water feature here and make this something else. But and then coming around this side, this let me get through all the ephemera I got stored around here. So this portion of the castle here is a play set that came with this water wheel for Pirates of the Caribbean. And then I capped it off with this sort of bell tower thing, and that's a McFarlane Toys Hunchback from Notre Dame piece of scenery that came with their 3.75 figures. So without the water feature here, I guess this Chap May sort of tower doesn't make much sense, but it's there anyway. So yeah, the goal is to paint the do some scenic paint on the castle to make it sorry, I'm losing all my action figures here. Do some scenic paint on the castle to make it look more weathered and block-like and everything. Do some stony effect paint on the rugged, jagged rocks here, and get this all sort of decrepit and weathered looking. And then once I get that done, then maybe I can work on the wood graining. Bringing this stuff. This would look like rusty iron, and things like that. Once again, rusty iron, maybe wood grain. What I'm going to do with the doors, I don't know. I actually kind of like the dragon graphics, but they look toy-like. They're bright and they look toy-like. So I don't know. I always think, is there like something I could do just to age them down with like a dirty clear coat or something like that? So that one's out for debate right now. But I guess so let's reference some of these tchotchkes over here. So you see that wood grain paint and all that. This is how this toy came. This is actually a Shrek torture chamber for I think King Farquhar or whatever his name was. Is torturing like the gingerbread dude or something like that. But I thought this was a great sort of prop for my use with the castle. So that's kind of like the level of paint I want to go for here. The Playmobil stuff, when you get it, it's just a base color and it's not very impressionable at all. It's just blasé. So I want to make it at least look like a painted toy. And then here I got this old 21st Century Toys bombed out farmhouse, I think it was called. And I think it just works pretty well for dual purposes here for the monster thing. So this could have been a farmhouse in the peasant village, or right on the castle grounds here, and it'll be fun to set up a few little photo scenarios with the innocent maiden who's trying to tend to her farm animals and doesn't realize she's being stalked by the vampire or something like that. So anyhow, I just got all this stuff set up last night, and it's a good spot to sort of pick away at it and paint it piece by piece. For example, I could just pop these roofs off and give them a slate paint treatment, sort of a granite slate roof tile looking thing, and so on and so forth. But that's the idea. Who knows? I know reality says this will probably be put away unpainted again at the end of the season, but I'm trying anyhow. So when I change these layouts, what I do is I basically pack stuff up in Tupperware containers and then put it in storage. But right now I've got things that are all a mess right now underneath the table. But people always ask, how do I display my stuff? I don't. I take it out. Fortunately, now I have this table. This has been very helpful for me to showcase my collection. But most of my collection lives like this. It's either, in storage totes or organized in some way. I guess a little caveat to that would be this stuff. This is overflow that I need to organize. I just have to get the right kind of containers. But yeah, it's just so much of the collection. For example, there you go. There's all action figures, all binned away, various types and whatnot. Here's another Playmobil castle. So the dangers of over collecting, I suppose. Here's these little. I think I showed these a few episodes ago. These are these Gashapon goblins. So I finally assembled the other two, and this guy gave a little Skeksis skull helmet. I don't really like this skull on the Skeksis character from the Dark Crystal guys, so I kind of modified it to fit on him. It's held in place with some museum putty. So these guys got pulled out. They'll get placed around the castle with some of the Halloween figures. And so I guess my whole point about the storage is this is all sort of castle stuff. This is a stormy cloud backdrop I got off of Amazon. I'll have to unfold it and try and steam out the creases and stuff like that. But these are all like castle accessories and parts. There's coffins in here. There's some cemetery stuff in this bag. This giant crate, that's Fluffy from Creepshow. And a few action figures that are too big to fit into the tackle boxes that I have. But eventually it'll get there. If I showed you the rest of my house, it would look presentable, and the basement kind of looks like a shambles right now. But and that's how it goes. Oh, and then of course this is my my proposed what is called standard gauge train station with oddball characters and things like that. Of course, this is no longer appropriate for this scene, so I'll have to pack this away. It's just I need now another storage tote for the standard gauge stuff that I've been collecting. Okay, so that's about it. I just wanted to show you the castle fresh and set up. And then once I start pulling out some figures, I'll do a few little scenario shoots because it is spooky season. Okay, folks, have a great week. See you soon.